Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 258 of the Camcast, podcast that is practicing some good social distancing because I'm alone in the basement. It is I, Mike, dear leader, doc taste, leader of men, herder of cats, sharer of the live stream to everybody. There we go. Hopefully somebody's going to come in here and get roasty toasty on me. Anyway, it is just me, by myself. Zach felt a little weird about coming in, and I didn't want to impose upon my girlfriend any more than I already have, so that is why it is just me. So we do have some stuff to be getting to, i.e. all of the usual housekeeping stuff. This is going a lot quicker than I had thought. Figured I'd stumble a little bit more, but without Zach here to bounce stuff upon, it is a little bit easier. Anyway, go ahead and find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, like, rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, do all those fun things. Fun, terrible, awful things. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/camautomag. That is where you go to support us, help us out, give us a few bucks here and there, help us keep this thing going. And while I'm here and thinking about it, I want to go ahead and thank some patrons who are keeping this train rolling. Yeah, cool, thanks. Patreon is here with us for this COVID-19 thing. Thank God. So, just want to go ahead and thank the following patrons because you guys are awesome and we love you. I want to thank Devin Creasy, Hans Guzman, Jake Bastian, Michael Dillon, Nick Pellant, Sam Goebel, Taylor Hatch. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Mucho apreciado. Because without you, this would be even more of a catastrophe than it already is. There we go. How's chat looking? Well, there's going to be all sorts of other problems, AJ. Don't worry. Just wait for it. I'm recording on my little digital audio thing, and I can already see that I'm peaking everywhere. So I'm doing my best to trying to maintain a balance between both of these things. What's going to be the podcast on Wednesday and what you can hear right now. So it's a little bit of a trick. So not terribly helpful, but whatever. We'll keep this thing a-rolling. And continuing on, Steady Broke Clothing, longtime sponsor, steadybroke.com, steady.broke on all the social medias. Head over to steadybroke.com, put a bunch of their awesome stuff in their cart, and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. SteadyBroke.com. And back to me. So, yeah, it has been quite the interesting week. Governor of Utah came out and said, please, pretty please stay at home. I'm not going to make you, but, pretty please do so. And then the mayor of Salt Lake County said, yeah, no, you're going to stay at home, assuming you're not essential. But the list of jobs that are essential are pretty insane. So it's just a bit annoying. There we go. Yeah, so I am essential in my job, so that means I get to go to work every day. Not a huge fan, but whatever. Moving on. So, I managed to write down some birthdays. Happy birthday to Tyler Grosskopf, Josh Willett, Daniel Shrub, Brandon Kuhn, and Chad Alders. Happy birthday to all those guys. Would have been seeing Chad this past weekend, but no, there's no NASA racing because of this horrible pandemic, so oh well, whatever. So, got that. Now let's jump into some news. It's not all bad news this week. We've got some honest-to-God good news. We have, GM, Ford, Toyota, McLaren, Nissan, Tesla, Mercedes F1 are all getting into the whole life-saving, much-needed medical equipment game. GM is building ventilators. They were already going to be doing that, and then the big wet president said, no, you're going to do that, and then GM said, but we're doing it. So they're doing it. Ford, Toyota, Nissan as well. They're getting into the game. It is not going to be instantaneous when these things finally show up. There's going to be a little bit of a delay between when they say we're doing it and when it actually happens, because there's no big lever to flip in the in the factory that goes from cars to ventilators. So, you know, so we should be seeing stuff by April, late April, I believe, is when everybody's saying we're going to start seeing stuff. And what Mercedes is doing, Mercedes F1, they are building CPAP machines in Europe. Those have already been approved, so those things are going to start hitting where they need to be, which is just real nice. Real glad that everybody's actually, saying, hey, we have the ability to do so. We are a large manufacturing concern or an engineering outfit. I'm really glad that everybody is kind of getting in on this. Gives me a little bit of hope for humanity. So, moving on. Let's see, Ford. So some of you are working from home. I'm a little jealous of that. But other people who are working from home are Ford engineers, specifically the people who are working on the Mustang Mach-E. And there are places where you can see a Mustang Mach-E kind of driving around the neighborhood. And while these engineers can't test every little thing, they can make sure the electric architecture and the software are working fine. And also, see what it's like in the real world a little bit. So that story is from the Detroit News, which, because they have remote access to the tools necessary, they can just, get the tools that they need to make sure that, at least electronically, everything is working fine. Man. Hey man, we've been wanting a new Bronco for 30 years. So just give it time, man. Give it time. And I don't know how to make the audio any better without stopping the stream, but we've already come this far, AJ. We have already come this far. So, and normally you don't necessarily notice the delay because the camera's like 10 feet away. Here it's right here. See? Like arm's reach. So, there's that. And then, remember how GM had that ignition problem? Where keys and stuff were falling out and cars were stalling on the freeway and it was a big scary thing? Well, they just settled another lawsuit regarding that. They are paying $120 million to this class action lawsuit, which claimed that the residual value of the owner's vehicles dropped because they were known vehicles to be afflicted with this. And this wasn't just like a few things, this was 2.5 million 2004 to 2014 GM vehicles were affected by the recalls, and 124 deaths were attributed to those failures. So that is yet another settlement GM has taken upon themselves to go ahead and just pay for and move along, hopefully. God willing. Anyway, well, that's the news. Again, without anybody to actually talk to, it's goes a little quicker. Oh, come on, man. Any large American company's gonna need a bailout. I mean, if you're offering, they're taking. So, just remember that. So, yeah, they'll probably not necessarily need a bailout, but, somebody offers them. We'll go ahead and take it. Now, moving on, I asked everybody what they were doing to stay connected in this time of isolation. And so, let's jump around and see where we're at. I know I got a couple of responses. I know I got something in Motoring United. Let's jump over to there. Yeah, Noah Newson. He's either getting down on Xbox Live, which shout out to you, Noah. That's awesome. A couple weeks, hop on the Twitch Tuesday shenaniganry. We'll be doing some Forza stuff. This week it's still GT Sport. There will actually be a proper race, and I will remember to record this so it can live on in posterity. Unlike last week, where just me and AJ and Ben Allred got to see the hilarity of the Samba bus race at Mount Panorama. And let's see, Tyler Tarbox, he says social media has been a big contributor for a lot of people, at least it's something to do. And I'm like, it's not necessarily a great something, but it is a something. And he responded with, I think the positives of social media have come to fruition at a time like this. Coronavirus memes will continue to pour in. So, I mean, things may get rough, but we'll always have the memes. Blessed are the memes, and the meme makers, and the meme lords, aka Kit. Shout out to you, little buddy, wherever you may be. And moving on in shenanigans, I threw another kind of little thing in there. So, I am being the responsible adult by just doing this by myself in my cold-ass basement, turned off my heater because I thought it was adding some sort of sound, but it is so cold down here. So, see, AJ brings us up in the chat, which, I mean, if you're watching, say hi, let me know you're out there. Yeah, we will. He said maybe we could recreate the Samba Rumba, and I think we definitely could do something like that. We're not going to try to recreate it word for word because, the magic, that was a very much so in-the-moment thing. It's like a joke is never as funny when you have to repeat it. So, we'll figure out something. I've got a few ideas. We'll hop on the chat. We'll figure out something. I've got some fun ideas that aren't necessarily as painful, but equally potentially hilarious. I'm going to turn down Ryan Celsius just a minute. He's got a quarantine and chill station going on right now, so if you're hearing some tunes, that is what it is. And the visuals are Cowboy Bebop, Spike lighting up a cig. It is delightful. And, I mean, we could figure out... You saw how hilarious that stuff was. Me and my 40-mile-an-hour Fiat struggling in every gear, coming to a dead-ass halt as soon as I hit the e-brake. Yeah, me, AJ, Chirp, who you've heard on this podcast a few times. You've seen him. You've seen his delightful mug. Yeah, we got on, did a little bit. We're doing one more week of GT Sport. We're finishing out the month of March with GT Sport because Joey, the digital driver, our man in Japan, well, ideally he'd like to be our man in Japan, but whatever. We will take him as our man in Midvale, aspiring for Japan. He is getting his wheel and everything to play perfectly with GT Sport. So, yeah, tomorrow, as you watch this, yesterday, as you hear this, if you're only subscribing to the podcast, which, thank you, appreciate you. Yeah, it will be at least me, probably Joey, probably AJ again, maybe Chirp, maybe some of your other favorites, some of the, maybe the most interesting man to ever grace this podcast, Brandon McConkey. Maybe Pizza Dude who looks weirdly familiar standing at the back of that Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe we will have some more people. Ben Allred just got it, so he will be on there. It's going to be on twitch.tv/CamAutoMike, or maybe I'll get it on our YouTube channel. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We desperately need more video content. That's a cheap way to do it. Anyway, AJ's thinking about getting an Xbox. He says, I guess I need to get an Xbox so that I can play when it switches to Forza. I mean, I recommend it. I like Forza for doing some more of the shenaniganry things. Last night, me and Brandon Kuhn, we recorded some of our other podcasts, Nerdy for Beginners. We recorded it over at his house, and we were talking about Extra Life, which is this big charitable thing. Instead of running a marathon to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals, you just do a marathon gaming session, like 24 hours straight. And we tried to do it last year. Didn't work out so hot. This year we're going to do it again. We're going to put a lot more planning into it. And there will definitely be some Forza and Forza Horizon shenaniganry in there because you can get stuff like a limo, Ford Transit vans, a GMC Vandura. Just like ridiculous stuff that you can put like a crazy V8 into and then do dumb things with. So, yeah, I highly recommend at least trying to get an Xbox before November. So, But you got at least a week at the earliest before you need, if you want to get in on this Forza thing, you got a week, that's when the window opens, and then November is when it's going to close. So, you've got plenty of time there, bud. Plenty of time. And now, jump over to the Cam Proper page, facebook.com/CamAutomag. We got a few responses in there. That picture is a Fiat 124. That's what I was doing on Sunday. Went up with Justin and Gavin from Exhibition of Speed. Helped them out doing a video shoot on that. It was fun. Their Motor United LA video dropped today. It's an hour and 12 minutes. It's good. Gavin goes through something that we can all relate to because we've all been in a very similar thing. So head over to the Exhibition of Speed YouTube channel and check that out after you're done here. But in the meantime, Casey Barrett of Sedep Automotive, he's still wrenching on cars for other humans. He's out there doing the Lord work at Sedep Automotive on all the social medias. Sedep.one. Yeah, SEDEP. He's good folk, good honest folk, and he's kept the mini minivan going thus far. And I'm gonna make him do more stuff to it. And we have some terrible, terrible plans for the mini minivan and some of the stuff that's in his shop. So, Joey Harrington, I feel like I've been social distancing since I started college 5 years ago. So the same thing as normal, lots of Facebook Messenger. Yeah, I can confirm lots of Facebook Messenger. Though it's exciting to see so many people jumping on to race together. He means like GT Sport, Forza, iRacing, Assetto, any digital platform to do some racing with your homies. And since I won't be driving to classes twice a week, I should have a little time to put aside to join in on the virtual racing. I mean, he's going to be there tomorrow, God willing, even if I have to go over to his apartment and kick his door in. He's going to be there. And then Jake Bastian, we've been racing on Assetto Corsa with the local SCCA chapter. Other than that, just been working and keeping my kids on school tasks, which is a never-ending, very, very Sisyphean, if you will. So, yeah, there is that. I think I got a lot of other likes. Didn't think I got any, doesn't look like I got any responses. But back to the shenanigans. Since it's just me and you, basically, AJ, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever seen? Weirdest vehicle mashup that you've ever seen? Because Devin went and posted this funky, can't really see it. It is a new Mustang on what appears to be new Mustang on what appears to be, see if that works a little bit better. Yeah, there it is. On like a Rolls-Royce looking old-timey classy chassis. So, there used to be a dude around here who had, I'm trying to remember, I believe it was like an old Datsun, not like an easily recognizable Datsun, but it was an old Datsun like body on some sort of like weird, wonky, definitely home-brewed like 4x4 chassis. Like it could have started life as a small Toyota pickup or something, or like a Suzuki Samurai, but then just redneck engineering got a hold of it. And it became this weird monstrosity that I would see at the grocery store and then at the gas station right by my house. And, like, on the face of it, like, if I thought too much about it, I hated it. But just seeing it, it was one of those things, just put a grin on your face. You're like, yeah, that guy. He knows what's up. So, yeah, ponder that while I hop on over to the Racing Mongooses section of the agenda. Let's just see where we're at on time. 23 minutes. It's not too bad. So, because there's no real racing, we have to deal with, like, iRacing, and for some odd reason, Formula One demanding that everybody play F1 2019, which is a weird move. I don't quite get it, but whatever. Shout out to them. They have other things that they need to get to and deal with, but we'll get to that in a minute. First off, so NASCAR, their iRacing Pro Invitational Series, they believe they had their second race. It was their second race this weekend. It was at Texas Motor Speedway, and it actually went into overtime, much like many NASCAR races actually do. Let's pop open the this thing here is a 125 lap race, and Timmy Hill manages to hold off Ryan Preece to take the win, and he did it, like, to force, with 4 laps to go, bump and run into turn 1, take the lead, hold the lead. So, and I mean, listen, if you've never seen a proper big-ass wreck in iRacing, one, I highly recommend you check out Dinner with Razor's Thursday Night Blunder series, which is mismatched classes on awful circuits for most of the classes. They did their Pooper Sebring, and it was trophy trucks, I think old LMP2 like open top cars, Audi RS3 LMSs, and then I think like Skip Barber open wheel formula cars. So just a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't have been on track together. But it was pretty hilarious. And yeah, the wrecks at iRacing just look hilarious because, it's a wreck in a game. Yeah, Hawaii is really weird. AJ, I've seen cars that are basically about to return to Mother Earth with wheels bolted to them. Yeah, man, oh boy. I think we've all got a story about one of those. But anyway, so, yeah, Timmy Hill holds off Ryan Preece. Some other names that were in there. Let me just kind of keep going through. There it is. Let's see. Garrett Smithley was in third. Landon Castle in fourth. Alex Bowman, the showman, rounded out the top five. Dale Earnhardt Jr. led 14 laps but finished sixth. Let's see. Yes, completing the top 10 was Joe Nemechek, who led 10 laps. He finished in 8th. Kyle Larson in ninth. Kurt Busch finished 10th. Parker Kligerman, friend of Jalopnik and occasional NASCAR commentator for, I believe, Fox Sports, he managed to finish 12th. Now, 16 lead changes and 5 cautions, which I feel like they could pump those numbers way up. Those are rookie numbers. Got to get those numbers up. But they weren't the only one doing iRacing this past weekend. IndyCar kicked off their iRacing series with the American Red Cross Grand Prix at fan-chosen Watkins Glen, which the way they're doing it is pretty cool. The first round was, the fans got to choose a place that that IndyCar has raced, and then the final, they're doing 6 races, so race number 6 is going to be at what they're calling a dream track, a place that that IndyCar has never been. So you could very well see like the IndyCars at, like Monza or Spa or, like any of like the crazy awesome dream tracks like Suzuka or something, or even Mount Panorama. Like they're putting it up to a fan vote, so stuff the ballot box with something awesome if you intend on voting on that one. But they had their first race. It was a 45-lap race at Watkins Glen, a place that they have not been to in a minute. The manager of Watkins Glen really wants to try to get it back on the calendar, and I really want them to get back on the calendar because it is a hell of a track. But Sage Karam, pole sitter, hot shoe in the sim, almost got his ass kicked by Andy Lally after an IMSA race a couple years ago. He led wire to wire with Felix Rosenquist, another young gun, in second, and Will Power, the man who is a meme, finished in third. He was 11 seconds off the pace. It was a fun little race to watch. It was very interesting. They did have the full commentary crew, so Lee Diffie, Townsend Bell, and Paul Tracy. Everybody was at their house trying to do commentary. And, they did throw it to different people for interviews and stuff. Like, they had the president of the American Red Cross, and they talked to James Hinchcliffe, who I believe ended up getting booted from the server or something. So there was Robo-Hinch. But, yeah, they talked to him a little bit, and they talked to Robert Wickens, who, through a Herculean effort, almost drove in this, but the courier bringing the last couple of bits of the sim rig that he needed to have, because, he had the big wreck at Pocono, and since then, the last 2 years, he has been learning how to walk again and use his legs in a normal fashion, let alone driving, so he needs to have hand controls, and he had somebody set up, and then that fell through, and so everybody around Indy just came together and like, oh, well, we can get you this, we can get you this. I've got a wheel that could probably work. We can at least get you the basics of something. But, the last couple of bits were with the courier, and the courier did not make it in time, so he could not race this time. He will be back for the next round, and I am very excited because I love watching him race, and I think this is awesome. If you want to feel good about things just in general, just head over to his social media. He's always doing something that makes you feel really good about stuff. And there will be, I believe, next weekend, I think the first weekend of April, the Virgin Australia Supercar Series is going to be kicking off their Pro E-Series, which I'm sure they'll have on their YouTube channel. As soon as we hear something, we will link to it. And I'm sure it will be a good time because the drivers were posting their various rigs, and I can't remember who it was, but they did a little, 3-post thing, and it was Scott McLaughlin, his, 3-screen, full-on big boy rig, and then somebody else had a, still, one big TV, but the proper race seat and everything. And then somebody else posted a picture of a camping chair, some hastily, nailed together lumber with a steering wheel bolted to it. So, these guys are taking it as serious as I believe that they should be. Speaking of some seriously fun, potentially awesome things, Porsche is evaluating the new Le Mans, Daytona, whatever, the top-tier IMSA and now WEC prototype hybrid class. They may come back into actual honest-to-God racing in, a manufacturer top-tier effort. So they are taking a look at the rules whenever they can get their hands on them. This would be a fun move for them because they could race in the WEC, which they have done for years, but then also get something in IMSA beyond a GT effort. So that would be fun to see. I would love to see them back in the top category. I'd love to see a lot more manufacturers in the top category, but that is neither here nor there. I just really hope Porsche can come back. There's another thing you can check out while you're stuck at home or you're hanging out at work where it may or may not be insanely slow, like my day job tends to be. They dropped a 90-minute documentary, Endurance. It is about the 24 hours of Daytona, and I believe the Le Mans 24, what their effort is going into those as a top-tier GT manufacturer. So, highly recommend checking that out. Like I said, 90 minutes, get you through part of that workday. And then, see how chat's doing. Does that itch my nose? Okay. So, Helmut Marko. We're going to hop over to the desktop here so you can actually see what's going on. This guy right here that I'm circling, that is Helmut Marko. He is an advisor to Red Bull Racing. Dr. Helmut Marko. He, in his infinite wisdom, wanted to create what he was calling, quote, Corona Camp, end quote, and deliberately infect the Red Bulls, their F1 drivers, and their junior drivers, so they could gain an immunity to the virus, which, oh, no, it's okay, AJ. Yeah, you can totally, I understand stepping away to dinner. Yeah, we're talking about a crazy evil-looking dude who wanted to create a camp and intentionally infect young men with the disease because he thought it would do something good. Yeah, Helmut Marko wanted to give the drivers, deliberately infect them with COVID-19, try to get them an immunity, because, let's see, quote, the idea was to organize a camp where we could bridge this mentally and physically somewhat dead time, and that would be the ideal time for the infection to come. These are all strong young men in really good health. That way they would be prepared whenever the action starts, and you can be ready for what will probably be a very tough championship once it starts. I don't think I really have to say this, but it didn't fucking happen. Yes, there was a lot of pushback. He said, let's put it this way, it has not been well received. Yeah, no, that was a catastrophically dumb idea. Because it's not like, I mean, even with the chicken pox, some kids do have a terrible reaction to it and get very, very sick. So, same thing with COVID-19. Some people who you would think would be getting very, very sick do get very, very sick from it. So, yeah, dude. AJ, that's some Hitler Master Race shit. Yeah, dude. Creepy Austrian doctor wanting to create a camp. Just intentionally infect something, intentionally infect people with something that we know is dangerous. Yeah, no, that's, I mean, people can try to dress it up however the hell they want, but no, that is insane what he actually wanted to do. So, yeah, so that is really the news. Let's just jump over and see if there's anything that has popped up. Oh, okay, so, real quick, IndyCar is standing by their idea that they will be able to get, they'll kick off the season at the end of May, May 29th through 31st, at the Detroit Grand Prix. So, hey man, that last weekend of May is wide open since the 500 is going to be happening in August. So, there's that. You know, they're hopeful despite the fact that Michigan has declared a state of emergency. So, you know. And then let's see, the supercar season could run as late as February. I don't think we're going to complain. Let's see. Oh no, the NASCAR season probably won't start up at Martinsville. Let's see. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam issued a stay-at-home order for residents of his state to combat the novel coronavirus outbreak that begins Monday and extends through June 10th. So, Martinsville was on the calendar for May 8th and 9th. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how a calendar works. May 8th and 9th is before June 10th, so that one wasn't going to work out so well. Yep, that was over at motorsport.com. Let me jump over to Racer, see if there's anything over there. Oh, IndyCar is going to drop. Last few years, they've had a double points season closer because of all of this. They are dropping that, so there is that. Let's see. Okay, I've seen this twice. Norris to go bald as part of fundraising effort. Lando Norris, handsome young man. Let's see. There's it. Hashtag Twitch Stream Aid took place on Saturday with stars from gaming, music, and sports all coming together to stream during a 12-hour period when viewers could donate to the COVID-19 Solidarity Relief Fund for the World Health Organization. As part of his stream, Norris promised to shave his head if followers raised over $10,000, and the target was comfortably exceeded. We're going to see bald Lando, hopefully, when the F1 season starts up. Curious to see what the young man is going to look like, just with the top down, if you will. Yeah, let's just jump over to see if there's anything on the old Jalopnik, because we are getting desperate. And no, the 2021 Genesis G80 will not have a V8 option, so it sucks, but it happens. Let's see. Honda follows Mazda by ditching some touchscreen controls for not being, quote, intuitive. You don't fucking say. Duh. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the news lately hasn't been great. A lot of it has been virus related, and I'm trying to kind of steer away from that. Because it's just, it's not, just trying to keep away from that negativity, because I don't know what your life is like. But, yeah, I kind of can't escape it no matter what it is I do. At work today, I was informed that we will not be buying any more soda. We will just be getting water. Because water is cheaper than soda. And that is how the coronavirus has affected us thus far. You know, that and other things, other not great things. But, hey, figure out the technology. We'll get some more people on the Camcast. Virtually, of course. But, hey, we can make this work. We'll make this work for you out there. Because we love you. Love you. AJ points out that Lando Norris will be more aerodynamic. He will also be lighter. And that is key in the world of Formula One. So, I have some shenanigan things right here real quick. They are both lightly virus-related. First one I have on the agenda, it is, let's just jump over there so you can see this. His heart was in the right place, but they were also right to laugh at him. An astrophysicist gets magnets stuck in his nose while trying to invent a face-touching alarm. There he is. That is him. So, what the long and short of it is, Daniel Reardon, him, he was trying to figure out an alarm system. So, you know, when you went to go touch your face, you would be alerted that you were going to touch your face, and you would then not touch your face. Well, what happened was he developed a circuit necklace that worked the exact opposite way. Girlfriend's playing Breath of the Wild and giving me updates here and there, so she's a bit farther in the game than I am. Anyway, so he developed a circuit necklace that worked the opposite way. It would constantly beep when you were nowhere near your face. You would have a magnetic bracelet on. It would beep constantly, but then when you brought your hand up to touch your face, you would that's the only way you would stop the alarm. So he was trying to figure out other ways, so he clipped some magnets to his ears. And then hubris took over, and he put some in his nostrils, clipped outside and inside. And what happened, the ear ones came off pretty easily, but the nose ones, he took off the outside, and the inside ones stuck together through his septum. And he tried to draw he tried to use magnets to get the other magnets out. They just stuck up there. And so, his partner took him to the hospital that she works at. Not because she was concerned. Because, quote, she wanted all her colleagues to laugh at me. The doctors thought it was quite funny, making comments like, "This is an injury due to self-isolation and boredom." Find yourself a partner like that. Yeah, exactly. His heart's in the right place. But again, everybody was right to laugh at him, and especially his partner was right to take him to the hospital and say, "Look at this dumbass. Look what he did." I just love the sad, sad picture of him. They got one of the magnets out, but he accidentally swallowed the other one. Like, it went down his throat, but he coughed it up. So he's good. So magnets are dangerous because they can actually they can attract across loops of bowel and erode through intestinal walls. So, it wants to go to whatever. So if you get a little too close to something, you've got one of those, coursing through you, bad things can happen. So, and just remember, he's an astrophysicist, so he was a bit out of his element on this one. But God bless him. All right, one more time. We just got to look at the sad, sad picture. Look at the sad physicist man. Just, beautiful. And now on to our other bit of shenaniganry. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Definitely don't swallow a magnet. That is just a horrible way for anything to happen. So, just avoid that at all cost. The other bit of news, the other bit of shenaniganry, I should say, I've titled "Influencers Are the Worst." And some of you know, I've kind of tiptoed into van life here and there, with sleeping in the minivan for 2-day drift events, endurance races, all that fun stuff. It's why I got it. That, and also to use it as a mobile platform to shoot photos and video from, which finally did that on Sunday with the exhibition of Speed Boys. So, glad we could finally make use of the van. But, van life, hashtag van life has been a thing that, people have been getting into, thinking it would be fun and adorable, and then, it turns out it's really not that great. It's not as whimsical as you think it would be. The latest is a whole bunch of influencers are doing the dumb thing, and that is they are ignoring lockdown orders, piling them and their family into an RV, and then driving to a place that may or may not have a very low infection rate. But the problem is, even if you're asymptomatic, you could still be carrying it, and you could be the rat bearing the plague-infested ticks and fleas, and spreading this thing around like Typhoid Mary. But it's okay, because you gotta do it for the gram. So, New York is still the epicenter in the U.S., and Taza, a.k.a. Naomi Davis, she has 500,000 followers on Instagram, and packing up and heading out west, as she said. So, it's great that she feels she's been safe enough, but, you need to stay the fuck home. I will grab some dudes, some gals, with some trucks, and we will drag your shit back to New York and just let you be there. Let's see. Yes. The Home Edit, one of their founders. They're based, Home Edit is based in LA, New York, and Nashville. One of their editors, packing up the family in a giant Class A RV, going from California, which I know some of you know, is on a stay-at-home thing. And, I'm going to go ahead and drive to Nashville, Tennessee, because, that's a thing to do. You got to create content during this fucking pandemic. And some of us are doing this sort of shit. Or, listen, I got some Legos. I got another Porsche 918 kit that I need to put together. And I've got, like, old and new Ford GT, like Ford GT40 and Ford GT thing that I got at a NASA Utah banquet a couple years ago. Like, we're getting very close to you seeing me build those on a stream, and that just becoming cam content because it's loosely car related. I'm not taking my ass and saying, you know what? I want to go hang out somewhere for a little bit. I'm not sure if I've got it. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have anxiety and depression and those fun things. And, sometimes I wake up and I'm short of breath and I'm achy. And it goes away, but in those moments I'm like, oh shit. I could be potentially spreading this thing around. I could be doing just incredible harm to my parents who are in a high risk category. Like, I'm not, like, I'm smart enough. I'm pretty fucking dumb. I want to get 2 more A70 Supras because I hate myself on that level. But, yeah, I want to get a couple more of those damn things. But I'm smart enough to know that if somebody says, your job is not essential, stay home, it's for the best for everybody, I'm staying home. But then again, I only have 1,300 Instagram followers, so perhaps my IQ would drop if we added a couple zeros onto the end of that. Anyway, yeah, AJ there, I mean, it's not one of the big, like, Technic, like, 911 RSR kits. It's like the little, like, regular-ass Legos with the minifig and everything. But, yeah, no, that could very well become a thing. So, just wait and see. Tune in. See what the hell happens. But, yeah, AJ points out that their RVs are basically going to become petri dishes or incubators on wheels, and, yeah, these people are dumb and terrible, and if you're thinking about doing this, you are dumb and terrible, and I hate you, and don't come around here no more. We don't need that kind of stupidity, damn it. We're here for people hacking up perfectly good Miatas and turning them into carts and whatnot. That's the kind of dumb we're looking for. Anyway, folks, despite it just being me hanging out down here in my frigid-ass basement, we've gotten to almost an hour, and I don't think I could stretch this anymore. AJ, shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate you being here, getting in on the chat. Love it. Yeah, man, it's pretty much just been me and you. Appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow for Twitch Tuesday. Everybody else, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. It's where you can watch our Twitch Tuesday shenanigans. What we do is we play a racing game for a couple of hours on Tuesday evening. Lately it's been GT Sport because I've had my, you can see the TV back here, there. I've had my PS4 hooked up to it for the longest time, and I've just been too lazy to get my Xbox out of my room, so that's why it's been GT Sport. But we're doing, tomorrow's going to be the last GT Sport endeavor. We're going to jump over to Forza because a lot of the Forza people are wanting to do stuff. But, yeah, we start various lobbies, and we do some random dumbass racing in them. Have fun. So, yeah, you can join in. I usually post what the first lobby's going to be and, what to do, how to get in on that on the cam page. You should probably definitely add some of us on PlayStation Network so you can actually chat with us, so I don't think you're just some rando and then boot you from the room. So, yeah, that is tomorrow. Usually about 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We go from 7 to 9, couple hours, get it in, have fun. So we've got that going on. We will also, if you don't want to do that, if you can't, for whatever reason, that's fine. Twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. That is where I be streaming this whole thing. And ideally, if everybody in the party can adjust their chat settings to have their audio in on the stream, that would be tight. But, sometimes you just get to hear me just yelling into the void. And really, sometimes you don't necessarily need to hear what's going on. Just watch us learn fun things, like you can start a GT Sport race in reverse. I don't mean like going backwards. I mean like you're at a dead start, and normally you're in first gear, but you can drop it into reverse and go full on James May. So that is tomorrow. That is a thing that we'll be doing. You'll hear about it. Or yesterday if you're only listening to the podcast, which, again, cool. But hey, man, highly recommend becoming a patron. Patreon.com/CamAutomag. As you can see there, $5 gets you bonus content and exclusives. One of the exclusives is we live stream this thing every Monday when we record. So that's a thing you can do. Like when we talk about this GT Sports stuff or some of these other things, that's where you can go. That's where you can get the inside scoop on some of these things. It also gets you into the Cam Super Secret Shenanigans Shitposting Facebook group, where we have a list of everybody's gamer tags and all that stuff. It is a good time. So highly recommend doing that. Let's see. If you're listening to this on the podcast, congratulations. If you're just watching the video or you stumbled across this, cool. Here's where you can listen to the podcast, all 258 or 257 back episodes. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play. Just get into your podcast platform of choice. Search Camcast or Cam Automag. Subscribe. Leave us a review. It would be greatly appreciated. Helps us grow. Helps us get traction. Let's see. We've done that. We're at Cam Automag on all of the social medias. Instagram, Facebook. There is a Twitter that doesn't really get used much. Usually it picks up during race season, but since I'm not watching any racing. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook primarily. CamAutomag.com. Stuff goes up there that I forget to spread to the world. So, that's there. And then, oh yes, forgot to mention this up at the top, but you can get some Cam Automag merch by going to CamAutoswag.com. We have all sorts of stuff, hats, shirts, phone cases, long sleeve tee, the zip-up hoodie. It's starting to finally get warm. This is the perfect spring hoodie. Spring, fall hoodie. Definitely not something you want to try to bust out in winter. But there is something specifically I do want to point out. In these trying times, it is always important to support small local businesses, restaurants, everything. We have two flavors of this shirt, the I Signed the Waiver shirt, which commemorates Dave Raleigh doing the 11 challenge up at Wing Coop, which is you eat 11 of their wings in their hottest sauce, a.k.a. the 11 sauce. You have 11 minutes to do it, and if you finish ahead of time, you have to sit there and think about what you did. Dave did it, gave himself an ulcer. If you want to get some wings on us, here's what I'm telling you to do right now. Get the shirt. Go up to the original Wing Coop up on Wasatch Boulevard. There it is. Pull it up on maps for you. So there's 215. There's 3900 South. There's Wing Coop. It's up by the Macy's. All right. You go, when they open up. Actually, you know what? Screw this. They will do curbside. So you go there, you go to here, and then let me just jump back here. Yeah, go to there, have your shirt on, get your wings, take a selfie in front of the restaurant with the sign clearly illuminated or, some sort of distinguishing thing so we know where the hell you are. And, yeah, man, I will buy you a dozen wings. So, nobody's taken me up on this, but, yeah, go to Wing Coop on Wasatch Boulevard and take a selfie in front of there with your wings. I want you to buy wings first. I want you to support them the way they have supported us, unbeknownst to them, all these years. And, yeah, I will buy you a dozen wings next time around. And let's see, what else we got? Swag, Steady Broke. You know the deal, Steady Broke Clothing. They have been around for damn near since the beginning. SteadyBroke.com, Steady.broke on all the social medias. They've got a bunch of really awesome stuff, including the Block Broke AF shirt, which is great, and the Depresso tee. I highly recommend getting both of those. Probably a hoodie, Broke State University long sleeve, something, anything else. Because those are good to have, but you need a little bit more. Put those and whatever else in your cart. Use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. And yeah, I already mentioned Twitch Tuesday, and there we go, folks. That is episode 258 in the bag. Thank you for sticking around for this ridiculousness. I appreciate it. We'll see some of you tomorrow night for Twitch Tuesday. And everybody else, we will be back again on Monday. Hopefully more than just me, but you know what? Kind of enjoy these small, intimate conversations that we're having. Just me and you. Just us hanging out. Loving it. Anyway, for episode 258 of the Camcast, and I'm sure everybody else in spirit, Shadowy Billionaire, Pizza Creeper, Dave, Zach, everybody, when I say thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.